afford not to give to God's work. Come on, somebody. Lay your treasures up in heaven. I want you to know, back in 2007 in Central Florida, I prophesied by the Spirit of the Lord. And I said these words. I said, it won't be long you'll hear in the news of banks bankrupting. Come on, somebody. And I began to name other different things. And it won't but a few months later it started happening. Come on, somebody. I started seeing in the news what I'd said in a pulpit. In 1995, I was preaching, come on, somebody, about the days we're living in that they were coming. Sitting around biting their nails off. Their hearts filling them for fear because the word, oh God, I ain't gonna have no retirement. Oh God, my insurance. I ain't gonna have none of that. My insurance is faith in God. Been living that way 21 years. 1993 was the last time I lived, and when Friday was a payday. Hello? Since 1993, I don't never know whom it's coming through. I know whom it's coming from. Come on, somebody. In 1995, I declared the day will come where people will have to learn to live like I live. Hello, I've had pastors call me, oh, Brother Marvin, what we going to do? People won't pay tithes. I looked at them and I said, your problem is you've depended on people. You don't even know faith in God. Come on, somebody. You've trusted on, come on, somebody. Amen, my guy over there that's got a lot of money, but now, amen, he got offended at how you preached and he left. And now you don't even know how your bill's going to get paid. I said, look here, don't you go into your bank account. If it's God's work, he'll take care of it. Preach! Whose faith do you have? Man's or God? And whose faith have you? And whom have you put your faith? Heaven ain't got no out of business sign hanging on the pearly gates. Do you realize your daddy owns streets made out of gold? Come on, somebody. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. God ain't up in heaven sitting on the edge of his throne thinking, oh, angels, y'all better start flapping your wings doing something. We're about to shut down. We're going to need a bailout for long. God ain't up in heaven wondering what Washington D.C.'s going to do and determine whether or not he's going to be able to move now. No, God's waiting on the economies to crumble. God's waiting on what man has built up and they put their faith in to crumble so he can step on top of it and say, I am God and this is not. My faith ain't in an occupation. My faith ain't in an employer. My faith is in the living God. And if I'll go after souls with my money whenever I get it, come on, somebody. If I'll be faithful in his work, come on and keep my head in the clouds and go to bed at night and quit staying up late, eating the bread of sorrows, worrying when the one whom I serve says he'll even catch a sparrow before it falls. You worried about that? You worried about you ain't gonna have enough? Look at your neighbor and say, you serve El Shaddai. Look at your neighbor and say, he ain't El Cheapo. He's El Shaddai. Somebody shout, he more than enough. Somebody shout, he's too much for bankruptcy. Somebody shout, he's too much for lack. God will never run out. Hallelujah. You may run out of what you have and the reason for it, so you'll run back into him. Holy Ghost told me when all this started happening back in 07, he said, Marvin, I'm letting the economies of this world crumble so man will realize that it's in me is their help. I choose to keep my head in the clouds. I ain't looking down, I ain't looking around, and I will not look back in the name of Jesus. I'm going to keep my head in the clouds. What you saying, Lord? I don't know what the world's saying. What you saying? Yeah, I know. That's right, Lord. I hear you. I got my head in the cloud. Just be still and know I'm God. Psalms 46:10. I got your back. I got you covered, Marvin. I knew what was going to happen before it happened. Ecclesiastes 11 verses 4 said, if you regard the clouds, you won't sow, and if you regard the wind, you won't reap. You know, even mainstream denominations somebody who's never heard it before. And we wonder why the churches are drying up. Hello? I was sitting there today praying, and I said, Lord, I got my head in the clouds. And Lord, you got to do what you did with Evangelist, Philip the Evangelist, and translate me to get me somewhere to preach because my truck's tore. Do it then. Yeah, what a way to travel, man. But I'm going to keep my head in the clouds because I know where my help comes from. I kept saying to the Holy Ghost, here am I, send me. I'll go. Nobody else go, I'll go, Lord. I'll go. I got a message in my inbox. Preacher in Nigeria said, I was told about your capability to preach the gospel. And I've been looking at stuff that God's doing through you, through the internet. Said in February of 2013 in West Africa, I'm going to have a crusade in an arena that'll hold 38,000 and they'll all come. And we'll go, hallelujah, stop praying. Hallelujah. Somebody shout, that takes a lot of money to go do that. But I got my head in the clouds, Holy Ghost. Had my head in the clouds a year ago when he said go to Kenya and East Africa and I went. People got saved. Hallelujah. The blessing of God's real easy. It's simple. Get after souls. You may say, well, I ain't called to go there. Well, you can send somebody. Come on, somebody. I promise you, I don't care how bad it gets in this world. If you'll support God's work, He'll bless your work. He'll support yours. Hallelujah. Somebody shout, keep your head in the clouds. Quit running to get more in debt to do something. Get your head in the clouds. God will supply it. We get up and we say, I got faith in God. Look at your neighbor and say, don't you believe what's on your money? If you believe what's on your money, you won't rob God. Come on, somebody. Be obedient. Lord, we trust you. You're our God. And then we meet and bless God. We figure out when we can go to the bank and see how much more debt we can get in. Somebody shout, God allows us to have needs. So we'll learn how to trust Him to meet them. It's His will to provide for His work. But a lot of times we want to do it before it's time for it to be done. So we go and get in bondage, 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 bondage. And then we can't do nothing for God because we're so busy paying the world back its interest. Come on, somebody. And I'm not telling you not to get in debt, but what I'm trying to tell you to do is to use wisdom. Get your head back in the clouds. Come on, somebody. I've had preachers walk up to the altar and say, I want to go full-time. God's told me I'm going full-time, Brother Marvin. I pray for them, give them counsel. 2 weeks later, they done went out the door to God. Nothing was wrong with what they were driving. And I had to go out and get something new because somebody else has got something. I told one preacher, I said, you want to go full-time? He said, yeah. He said, no, it's God's will. I said, good, go sell some toys. Same vehicle for 10 years before it crashed the last time. Sometimes you got to sacrifice if you're going to do what God says do. Come on, somebody. Hallelujah. All this prosperity preaching that's false nowadays that's going on. Amen. It's telling you if you always do what God wants you to do, everything's just going to always be there when you want it to be there. No, sometimes God says I have to allow you to have needs. Amen. And you ain't got nowhere else to go but to me so I can train you how to trust me. Because the places I have for you to go, if I don't take you, you won't go. Come on, somebody. Hallelujah. Many seek a man's favor. They seek a ruler's favor. They seek the king's favor. But God said every man's judgment comes from the Lord. Proverbs 29, verse 26. Lord, help us keep our head in the clouds. Lord, I know this was a longer service tonight. Lord, help us not to just stare at the newscast. Help us not just to stare at computer screens, Lord God, and get so filled with the bad and the evil that's coming. God, these are not just times of trouble, these are times of triumph. Jesus, we not only lift up our heads and get them back in the cloud of your coming, but we get our head back in the cloud of your glory, because the Holy Ghost is going to come before you come back. Lord, I'm expecting souls to be saved. I'm expecting my daddy to be born again. I'm expecting, God, every person came to me to be born again, authentically, genuinely converted by the power of the Holy Ghost. God, I'm believing for souls, signs and wonders and miracles, devils coming out, healings. Last year I saw the Holy Ghost raise a dead woman from the, amen, dead. My son sitting right there filming, still right by me when it happened. Somebody shout, signs and miracles are about to display on a stage of darkness in these end times. So quit walking around like that. What are we going to do? We're going to get our head back in the clouds. That's what we're going to do. And the Holy Ghost is about to set us up in the middle of upsets. Look at your neighbor while you're standing up and say, let your upset become a setup.